Alrighty, guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Fairy Tale episode 312. First order of business, real quick, guys. I made some changes to my audio settings. Not much, really. All I did was I removed the noise suppressor because every now and then I was getting some, glitching and popping, and I try to edit it out, so maybe you guys don't notice it. But I'm hoping without the filter, there's not too much humming in the background because my computer fans are a little loud, and and so that's why I had it in the first place. But I'm curious if this is causing the problem, so I'm gonna be doing this reaction this way, and then while I'm editing, I'll notice if it's worse or better or whatnot. Might need to do a few reactions to really get a good sample size because sometimes it doesn't do the popping through a whole reaction. But anyways, just trying to improve things, make things sound as good as possible for you guys. But yeah, so last episode we have the battle with Larcade rages on. We had Sting jump in. Rogue came in at the end and gave the last of his magic power to Sting, who is now a white shadow dragon, I think it is. And that's going to be interesting to see him, just go crazy with that. And then also the other development last episode was we were in Natsu's mind. We got to see his parents. We learned a little bit of info, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else that whole Mind Palace has to offer us. So, yeah. We also didn't see anything that has to do with Lady Irene or... What other fights are going on? Is the fight between Agiel still going on? I don't know. But I think there's... Oh yeah, and August. So August and Lady Irene are a couple of the big ones going down, and whatever Mavis is up to as well, I want to see. So, without further ado, let's jump into this and see if we get some answers to some of that stuff. Alrighty, so for you full-lengthers, we are going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, a little bit of recap. Cool. Yes, I'm sure we will. Yeah, that's right. He was saying he smells just like Natsu, which is interesting. I had some theories about that. Yeah. White Shadow Dragon. Yep. The slow, ever-zooming camera on the faces. And the intro, which I still can't watch yet. I can't wait. Whoa. Yeah. I like that part. It sounds like they're talking through a radio kind of thing or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I just keep saying yeah. Really looking forward to this fight though between Sting and Larcade. I hope it's good. And then I also hope we learn some more stuff about Natsu. I still want to know more about Lady Irene and Urza and their connections. Ah, so much info we need. Do 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 do. Alright, almost done. Oh, he's just emanating power. Hmm. Damn. Talking smack. Alright, very generic episode title, no spoilers. Still trying to use the... Yeah, like, we figured that out last episode. And that's what I was hoping, is that the shadow magic can do some damage to Larcade. Since apparently light magic wasn't working either. Ooh. Yes. That looks pretty cool. I always like when they merged, like, black and white. It always looks so cool. Guessing that's not it. Oh. The way he was moving was a little sluggish, though. It seems like it did something to him. But he's still very confident. What is this? Rest in peace. Uh-oh. Oh no, is it affecting them too? Don't close your eyes, guys! Sting, you gotta interrupt his channeling. No, no, Frosh! He's gonna throw a rock at him. Got him. Punching himself. Go attack! Maybe he can't, like... He can punch himself, but he can't move well. Really? I have a feeling that it wouldn't be that easy. Ooh. That's a cool shot, though. You got this thing. Oh! Finally she uses her gravity, what the hell? Just force him down into his shadow. Interesting. I like how there's just like No sound, or barely any. Kagura. Ooh, silk. Really? Is that it? Is that enough? He at least interrupted the sleeping spell. Hmm. Oh, is he gonna jump to Zeref saying something? Ooh. Does he feel it? Oh. Okay. What are you up to inside your own head, Natsu? Natsu's really having a hard time understanding that. Ooh. Oh. Hmm. Oh, cool. How do you knit with dragon scales, though? I guess I'm just not gonna question it. Final answer. Ooh. But I don't know the question. What's the question? Wait, wait, wait. Poor Eulusica has a cloak on that she could take off. Wait, okay. Does she have to use her body heat to warm him? Or is she gonna use the clothes to warm him? If she's using the body heat, that makes more sense. If she's using the clothes, then what? Poor Eulysica's literally wearing a blanket. Yep, so he just revealed it. Damn. Mm. They're mentioning gods again. Imagine if Natsu met the god that supposedly gave Zeref his curse on Xelum or whatever. Okay, so their fight is done. I mean, I figured it was after that, but... Oh, the music. I love that song so much. She seems to be relatively okay now after that cut. She like collapsed and was bleeding everywhere, and now she's just fine. Alright. Oh, remembering back to this. Has Minerva and Kagra had any contact since the Grand Magic Games, or at least since Tartaro's arc, where she kind of changed her ways? Or is this literally their first time seeing each other again? Just a lot of recap. Hmm. Maybe it's because it's been so long, but I almost feel like some of those combat scenes were different than what we saw. I do remember the massive blast, but some of those like little moments I don't remember seeing. Interesting. Yep, and she was torturing her, made them fight each other to kill her, yeah. Oh wait, no, never mind. They had to fight before she brought her out. Never mind. I'm an idiot. But yeah, that happened. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's been a while, I think. Because this was... No, never mind. The Grand Magic Games was after the 7-year gap. Never mind. God damn it. Hmm. Ooh. Panda Urza? Yes. Wendy buffing Urza. Friggin' Urza. Using swords with her feet. That's just ridiculous. Nice. Ooh. This new set. Friggin' Irene's pretty good at hand-to-hand combat for being more like a... what appears to be a mage type, you know? Jesus. Oh, jeez. Ominous clapping. Wow. That's crazy. Oh, jeez. Just, like, melted them? It's, like, totally evaporated, in a way. I don't know. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, she smells like her. Are we gonna learn? Are we gonna learn? There it is. Uh-oh. Is that true, though? Something feels off. Hmm. Hmm. Ah. Ooh. So there's more. Kind of felt like there probably would be. Okay. Is that where that scar came from giving birth? Queen of the Dragons. What does that mean? What? Wait, what? What? Minimize the outro and stuff. I don't... Hmm. Yeah, I definitely need to try to talk this out and figure out the storyline of all this stuff, because if I'm right, then that means Lady, or if it's what it sounds like, that means Lady Irene is over 300 years old as well. or she somehow went through, like, the time portal, too. Hmm. I love that ending part of the song so much. Alrighty, guys, so that is the end of episode 312. I don't even know what to make of that last little reveal. So, before we get into that, I have a question for you guys. How do you guys feel that they've done combat in this final season? Do you like the way they've done it? See, I don't know if it's because I, like, haven't seen Fairy Tail in a while, or if it is just different, but it feels like the fighting is, like, kind of the background of the story in a way, even though it's a lot of the primary focus. I don't, like, let me elaborate a little bit more here. I'm not saying I dislike it, it's not bad, but I feel like the way they used to do fighting was it was so much more emotional and epic, right? Like, you know, the way Natsu would talk about his friends and talk about, like, hope and, like, the basically, like, the power of emotions. And even though it was cheesy sometimes, it gave me, like, it gave me chills and everything, and I got, like, super excited whenever that kind of stuff happened and, like, the finishing blow came for a fight. It was always so, you know, awesome, you know? But I feel like a lot of the fights in the final season haven't carried that kind of weight, you know? Like, honestly, the biggest one that stands out is when Natsu was given his speech while running up the arm of that god that he one-shot, one of, like, the 7 battle gods or whatever it was. I felt like more epic during that moment than a lot of these fights have, and that doesn't mean the show is bad, you know, it's having a lot of its hype moments in reveals now rather than fighting, it feels like. And I can't tell if the writing is just different than it used to be, or if I'm different than I used to be. Like, maybe, you know, after so many episodes and so many years between, you know, watching the old series and watching, you know, the final season, that maybe my views have changed. I've gotten older and stuff like that. I don't know if it's me or the show, or I'm just curious about what you guys think. Do you guys feel that as well, or am I alone in that? It's perfectly fine if I'm alone in that, you know. Like I said, it might just be me, and it doesn't change the fact, like, I'm not liking Fairy Tail because of it. It just feels different. But yeah, to transition that into the fight with Sting and stuff like that, like, I was really looking forward to seeing Sting using both the White Shadow Dragon, but for some reason I didn't feel as hyped as I used to feel whenever, you know, like, Natsu took in, like, the Godslayer back on Tenro Island, when he took in that and used both elements or whatever. Or when Gajiel did it in the Grand Magic Games with Rogue's Shadow. Maybe it's because Sting isn't as much of a main character, but it feels like even when the main characters are fighting, it just doesn't feel as crazy. But back to the Sting fight in Larcade. I felt like, you know, Sting did this big attack. He fused them all into, like, a big, you know, magic ball above his head and threw it at Larcade, and Larcade kind of brushed it off. He kind of, like, you know, was sluggish in his actions after that, but he didn't seem to, you know, he still was able to attack and everything after that. And then he did his little, like, Thread's move after that, but that defeated Larcade. Like, I guess I'm having a hard time judging, like, what's a powerful attack and what isn't. You know, usually there's, like, some epicness behind the last attack, and it's like, yes, this is definitely a final blow, you know? Whereas, like, those little threads, I was like, okay, that's a cool move, you know? It looked cool, but I couldn't differentiate it from any of the other moves that they did, I guess, you know? So, as much as I think it's really cool that Sting was able to take in Rogue's power, became the White Shadow Dragon, all that was fantastic. I like the way the last episode hanged it off and all that. And I guess another similar thing was with not Wendy's friend. Shoot, what's her name? Shelia, right? Sherry? Is Sherry the cousin? Is Shelia the younger cousin? Shoot, I think it's Shelia. She, you know, unlocked her third origin, used all of her magic power, like, for her entire life, and just did, like, a move we saw her do similar to the Grand Magic Games, except maybe, you know, the scale was a little bit bigger, and the animation was a little bit better, you know? Like, I would have loved to see something, like, crazy happen, you know, and, like, I don't know, some, like, epic words that she says, like, before she does. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird feeling to me. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but anyways. So yeah. Larcade's defeated now, and we are moving on to Lady Irene's stuff, and more Natsu stuff just trickled in there, you know? We didn't get any development, even with apparently Wendy needing to take all her clothes off. Like I said, I don't know if that is so they can do their little, body, like, you know how they say if you're, like, cold out in, like, the woods or whatever, there's some joke movies about it, too, like, what's that, Without a Paddle? Is that the movie name? It's like the people that go, you know, in a canoe up a river and they go out camping and they end up, like, in a cave while it's raining and they're cold and they have to, like, get naked and hug each other to stay warm. Stuff like that. You know, it's a joke in a lot of movies, but supposedly it's a real thing where you can actually be warmer by, you know, touching, you know, bare body to bare body and stuff like that. So, is that what poor Elusica meant? Or did poor Elusica just want to, like, you know, wrap him in her clothes or something like that? Granted, Lucy's clothes are very skimpy, so I don't see how that would work either. If it does end up being Lucy's clothes, then I'll have no idea why poor Elusica doesn't just take her cloak off and put it on Natsu. But, you know, it might be that whole, like, so we can get some fan service of Lucy naked straddling Natsu. But, anyway. I guess we'll see more of that later. Did we learn anything new with the Natsu stuff? I guess the only thing we learned is that when dragon scales come off of the dragon, they turn white, which makes them touchable by humans, and Anna is the one that knitted the scarf, which is kind of cool because that draws more parallels between Natsu and Lucy, right? Because Anna is Lucy's ancestor, and so it almost feels, you know, like fate that they met up, you know? It's kind of interesting. I wonder if there's, like, anything more to that, you know? Like, is there some kind of cosmic connection that made it so Natsu and Lucy, you know, met and became friends, or was that just coincidence, you know? And they teased us with the final answer, and I was joking around saying I don't even know the question, but I'm very much curious what the final answer is going to be. Maybe we'll get that next episode. I'm not quite sure what it could be, though. Like, just trying to think about it, like, the only thing I can think of is if it's somehow connected to how Larcade smells like Natsu. It's the only thing I can think of, because I don't know, like, how that all works, you know? Like, why does Larkate smell like Natsu? Are we gonna get that answered, or are we just not gonna know, you know? I hope we get it answered, but that might be the final answer, might be something else, but yeah. Hmm. The, one other thing, I hate to trash on this episode, even though I did like it. The whole fight where we saw Wendy buffing Urza, I would have liked if we got to actually see, like, the glowing. Like, the characters used to glow when Wendy'd buff them, so you know that they're buffed, you know? And they'd mention something like, oh, I'm so much faster now, or something, you know? But Wendy was using her magic, and it just looked like it had no effect on Urza. And, I mean, unless that's somehow a plot point later on, I don't know. But, hmm. Doopa-doopa-doo. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else to talk about before we jump to the... I guess everybody knows about the fact that if Zeref dies, Natsu dies now, right? Because he spilled the beans. Happy did. I kind of miss some of those lines that he was saying because I was talking. Okay, so Natsu was mumbling... Yeah, if you beat Zeref, you'll die too, remember? Yeah, okay, so that's what he said, and that's what made everybody realize. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to go back and check that because I was talking and missed that line, so... I was wondering exactly how he worded the reveal, you know? Make sure that it wasn't, like, skewed in any way, but... But yeah, so... So everybody in that room, at least, knows now. There's still some people that don't even know that Natsu's E.N.D, so that's going to be interesting when they find out. I wonder how that'll go down with people, like, I mean, obviously, if Gray of all people can get over it, which it seems like he mostly has, at least he's not, you know, he's hurt, but he's not trying to kill Natsu anymore. But I wonder how, like, Sting will take it and stuff like that. If Sting even finds out, I'm sure he will, but, you know, because he's looked up to Natsu for so long and everything. But yeah, I guess that just leaves the fight between Urza and Lady Irene, which is still ongoing. But we've had the reveal that apparently Lady Irene is Urza's mom, which I got the feeling that there's more to the story. Obviously, there's more to the story about who Lady Irene really is, but is there more to the story regarding... I mean, I guess she did say you'll never know the circumstances of your birth if you don't listen or whatever. So there's definitely more to the story. She literally said that, but I guess I'm still holding on hope that my theory about Urza being like an augmented item, or object or whatever, I'm still holding out for that, but I guess it's probably not true at this point, since we like, looking at the facts, she said I'm your mom, which at first I was like, okay, she could say that, but still have created you out of a sword or an object and considers, you know, that to be bringing someone into the world, right? But they, when she said you'll never know the circumstances of your birth and zoomed into the scar, that to me means that she probably gave birth, unless that's a misdirect, you know? Because I know scars in that area could be like C-section kind of stuff. Usually it's more centered, that one's kind of off to the side, so I don't know. It could be a misdirect, and maybe, like, I don't know, like, Urza's made out of the sword that created that scar or something, I don't know. And she's, like, more, I don't know. I'm just holding on to that theory, probably a little too much. But, so, I guess we'll probably learn that soon. That'll be interesting about whatever those circumstances are. But, if we talk about the reveal a little bit that we had of, or not Urza, Lady Irene being the Queen of Dragons, apparently. But all the dragons are dead, and there haven't been dragons around for 300 years, right? So, what does that mean? Does that... So, the only two options I can think of is Lady Irene is, like, over 300 years old, or whatever, and she's been around since the dragons were around, or she somehow jumped through the gate as well when the Dragon Slayers went through. But I don't know. How many years was it from when... I guess... I'm trying to remember how the storyline went. Did Acnologia kill all the dragons up to the point of there being only a few left, and those few being, like, Igneal and all the Dragon Slayers dragons, essentially? Or when Igneal and all that were around, is that when there were still a ton of dragons everywhere? I don't know. Because I know they did the plan to go to the future to make sure that there was enough, like, magic power in the world to be able to kill Acnologia, right? But does that... I guess I just don't know if Lady Irene could be, from that time, or if she's from way earlier, even, Interesting. I don't know. I'm super interested how they're gonna tie all this together now. I hope it's not done in, like, a poor manner, But yeah, it was very interesting how this fight between, or this reveal to Urza, I think the reason why I thought there was more to it was just because Urza's reaction was so... It was good, but felt off, right? Like, it didn't feel as earth-shattering to her as it could have been, which is why I thought there was more to make it, actually earth-shattering. Because she was just kind of like, no, you can't be. And then accepted it. And then said, I don't consider you my parent. I only consider the master my parent, or the only parent I consider is the master. So... it just seems like she went through, like, the stages of grief instantly, almost. But, she's also in the middle of a fight, and she can't let that affect her, and stuff like that, so... Interesting. And I guess, Urza's never been one to be like, oh, I wish I had a mom, So, it does fall in line with her character, and it does make sense. It's just I was able to tell, like, right away that there was probably more to the story. But I had no idea that it was going to be the Queen of the Dragons, whatever that means. I don't know. I wonder if she had any relation, like, why is she so evil now? Because it seems like... Okay, so we know that the dragons back in the day were split into two factions of ones that liked humans and ones that didn't and just wanted to eat them. Was she queen of the dragons for the dragons that ate people, and that's why she's evil, Or is she the queen of the dragons of Igneal's side? Because that seems kind of weird that she's so, like... She seems so evil now if she was on Igneal's side previously. So I'm almost wondering if she was on the side of the dragons that like to eat people, and maybe she was, like, an exception that they felt she deserved to live or something. And and that's why she became like the Queen of the Dragons or something. I don't know. That's all I got though. I can't think of any other like theories that have to do with that. So either she's super old, she has her own kind of time travel, maybe. I mean, that's a possibility. Or she jumped through the gate with like Natsu and them, or a gate at a different point or something like that. I don't know. But hmm. I don't know. I really look forward to learning more though. It's turned into like tying into the discussion I started with, where like the fights aren't as epic. I've gotten way more interested in all these reveals that they're giving us more than the actual fighting. Now that they've kind of seems like they've focused more on that, which I guess is why my attention is shifting towards that, you know. But anyways, yeah. It's good stuff. You know, I ridiculed this episode a lot, but I genuinely did enjoy it, and I'm not just saying that to, like, you know, try to make you guys happy or anything. Like, I had fun through the episode. Like, it's really... I'm a very open-minded person when it comes to shows. Like, I usually don't let small aspects of a show change the way I feel about it, if that makes sense. Like, I have a friend who would be like, you know, I don't like the attitude that the main character had in this episode, so I'm not gonna watch the rest of the show. You know? Even if that character changes later on, he's like, I don't care. Like, I don't like it at the start, so whatever. Like, so he has that opinion, but I'm like, I'm more of the ideal that I want to watch it all and then form my opinion to like see where they're going with it and understand like what the writers had intended, right? Like, because obviously they didn't intend you to just watch the first episode and decide that you hate the show and quit. But so I always try to keep an open mind. I do that with almost all the shows I go into. Like, I've had shows where my friend says this show's horrible. Like, for instance, My Hero Academia. My friend said he didn't like it. And it is by far my favorite show of all time. And I've watched it 3 times on my own, I think. At least season 1 and 2 and parts of season 3. I've seen on my own like 3 times, and then I've watched like 3 or 4 different reactors through like the whole show, and then I've rewatched some of those reactors' reactions to that show a couple times. Just I love it. It's so awesome. Even Fairy Tail, I've watched Fairy Tail all the way through, and then rewatched it not too long ago, and then watched a reaction of it a while ago, and then somewhat recently rewatched a reaction to it. So, you know, I do that a lot with the shows where I rewatch over and over and over the shows that I really like, but I usually try to not let other people's opinions sway how I feel about a show. Same with, I guess I'm rambling about nonsense now, sorry. I've kind of gotten off track of, like, Fairy Tail topic and more talking about anime in general, but whatever. One of my friends was also saying that he didn't like The Rising of the Shield Hero at all. And I just started that on my channel, as some of you guys might have seen, and you know, obviously I went in with the knowing that my friend didn't like it, but that's all I really knew about it, so I was like, okay, well, maybe I won't like this. But through that bias, you know, I was like, tried to keep an open mind and watch the whole episode, and I'm really liking the show right now. So, you know, there's days where I sit here and I'm like, oh, I wanna go watch an episode of it right now. but yeah. Anyways, that's enough rambling from me. I've talked a little too much about random stuff that doesn't matter to Fairy Tail, but yeah. I like the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Hope you enjoyed the reaction to it and everything, and all that. So if you guys want to support the channel, you can hit that subscribe button. There's also my Patreon link in the description that you guys can see down there, and you can support me, which also gives you some content back. You know, it's not just, you know, supporting me for no reason. You get, you know, early access, so if you want to see the next episode right now, there's also full length, so you can watch the entire episode with me in case I cut, you know, one of your favorite parts out. You know, you need your own video footage of the show, but I put a timer up and, you know, tell you when to start, and you sync with me and everything, and that's how it works. So, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.